Beautiful. We're live. We're recording. So we'll just sit tight real quick as everyone jumps on. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. A lot of you jumping on early. Appreciate it. Give us just a couple minutes, and then we'll get started with this edition of Shop Talk. Cool. 9:02. I don't want to waste really anyone's time. Appreciate you all jumping on. Again, excited for this edition of Shop Talk. Everyone knows, obviously, we're diving into NutriGuide today, and I've got Tyler Jeffers and Christian on, and so they're going to help me as we walk through this a little bit. I know a lot of owners were texting me yesterday just asking if this was something that their employees could be on. I said, absolutely. This is going to be a call, or I want to be able to share some of the things that we went over at the owners conference a week ago, and some of the questions that were brought up, so that we could kind of go over them a little bit with some of the employees that weren't at the conference. If you weren't at the conference, you missed a tremendous conference. It was phenomenal. We had about 80 of you at the conference in Vegas. We heard just some phenomenal things from all of you regards to how well it went. And we were super excited. We all got back. The team got back the following Monday, and we're starting to talk about when we wanted to do the next one, just because I know how valuable it was to so many of you, and we look forward to doing the next one soon. But with that, let me jump into just a couple things before I go into NutriGuide with regards to some new product that's coming out. I know everyone wants to hear a little bit about that. It seems like the Lipotropic Heat's been moved around a little bit, but I did want to let everyone know Lipotropic Heat will be releasing this Thursday and Friday. So get ready for those. Those are going to be phenomenal products to add to your arsenal. We have the Lipotropic Heat in the watermelon and the Lipotropic Heat in the new Bahama Mama flavor. And then we also have the regular Lipotropic version also in the new Bahama Mama flavor. So 3 products that will be dropping this Thursday and Friday. Excited for that. After that, just to give you a little taste of kind of what's next, towards the end of the month, begin maybe the first week in June, we do have the protein synthesis coffee mocha coming out, and it's going to be in a 3-pounder. I know we had a lot of requests for that, especially with some of these specialty flavors. A lot of you like to get that to your customers so they can give this a try and see what they think of it. And so we're excited for that. It tastes phenomenal. It does have 120 milligrams of caffeine, so a little bit of kick for those of you that like to have your clients start off with that boost in the morning. But it tastes great, and it's few weeks away, 4 to 5 weeks away. After that, the next product we have coming out is going to be the Stance BCA Pineapple Lemonade. That will be in June. Perfect timing for summer. We did sample that out at the conference. A lot of great feedback on it. I think Evan from Boca Raton said this is the best flavor yet. He says it's super refreshing, but has a hint of that pineapple in it. So we're excited for that to be launching. In between, I don't know exactly when yet, in between the mocha and the pineapple, we are going to be doing some stick packs. We've got about 8 products that are going to be coming out in stick packs. A lot of you were asking for stick packs. You like to use stick packs when you go do promos and things like that. So we do have stick packs coming out in Lipotropic, Superfoods, Stance BCA, Merck, some of our more popular products. And so we'll be sharing the release of that soon. Like I said, that'll probably be right in between kind of that mocha and that pineapple lemonade. And then the last product I wanted to touch on briefly is the replacement for Ketolene. So a lot of you know we had some issues recently with Ketolene. It's actually not issues we've had recently. We've had them in the past as well. We've just been able to mitigate it, and we're now at a point where we're kind of decided it's probably in our best interest, since Ketolene was an older product, to move forward with a new formula that will not be in a soft gel, so we won't have any issues with leaking caps. And with that, Christian was the madman behind the science of putting together this new product. And so I'm going to let him just share briefly about the new Ketolene. Obviously, we'll get into more conversation with him and Madison and Tanya and Rick and the team, going over not only the science behind it, but how to sell this product. It is going to be a very effective non-stimulant fat burner. So Christian, you want to share a little bit about it?
Yeah, excellent. Appreciate everybody getting on board, and we're getting a great turnout this morning because I'm excited to talk about this product. So Brian mentioned, yeah, we've had ongoing issues with the previous Ketolene and the soft gel. The formula was good. I think people really enjoyed it. We were building some traction on it as a non-stim fat burner in the market. But really, oftentimes we do run to a crossroad like this where we really needed to solve that. And it's an opportunity for us to pivot and make improvements at the same time. And this is really in a category that we know as fat burning is huge, and everyone has something out there. I really think that we're setting the bar on this. I looked at all the top stuff that's out there that actually has some real fat burning opportunities and capabilities, and we've really combined the best in this. So as he mentioned, no more soft gels, and in fact, instead of 4 soft gels, this is going to be in 3 simple veggie capsules now. That's obviously even easier to use as a 1 a day. And really talk to some of the stores that sold the Ketolene the best. What do they really like about it? The main thing was that it's a non-stim fat burner, making it great for anybody who has sensitivities to stims, as well as stacking it with all of our other products. So without removing that capability, we're still going to be obviously non-stim. So not only is it, and I want to clarify, that doesn't, a lot of times companies say caffeine free, but they still have other stimulants in there for certain nervous systems. So this is still no stimulants at all. And the main thing that everyone else still liked is that it had thyroid support. That was really sort of our entry to the market, with helping with thyroid and metabolism connection there. So we kept all that, and in fact, actually improved it. You still have your iodine, you have your selenium, you have your bladderwrack, you have some of your key components in there that supported thyroid. Now you have some coleus in there, you have some other things. But what I'm really excited about is a couple of new ingredients. You may have seen some traction out there. There's a trademark product or ingredient called MitoBurn. You're seeing it pop up now. It does look like it has fantastic support behind it. There's 2 different clinical study dosages at it. We're doing the higher dosage. And this really, in essence, does a lot of things. It activates this PG1-1A protein that basically helps convert over brown to brown fat, white fat to brown fat, literally as a true fat burner. And I like to clarify that. I believe it's more of a true fat burning ingredient. So it's called MitoBurn if you want to check it out. Another one is called InnoSlim, and that is also at a clinical dosage that helps metabolic, helps with reducing weight management. So we're really combining some new ingredients, some new trademarks. But one of the things I'm really excited is we have a really strong appetite suppressant in here. That's something we've been missing. And this appetite suppressant, we're using the Caralluma fimbriata extract, which has really become the premier appetite suppressant out there. And it's at a quantitative high dose. So now we have additional appetite suppress. We have all the thyroid support. We have this new MitoBurn, this new InnoSlim. We also have the Coleus Forscoli Forceline in there. So I'm really excited. And I also bumped up the blood sugar balance. You're seeing a lot of stuff about these medications for blood sugar. That's an effective route, but this is a much safer route with our chromium. And we've also added some Genema in here. So really excited about it. I know we're going to do a bigger Zoom where I'll dive in a little bit deeper, but if you want to check it out, some of those ingredients that I mentioned, if you want to call me even before then, and I can talk about it. But the new Ketolene, I think we pivoted and elevated this product, still stackable with everything, and really even easier to use than 3 capsules. So
awesome. Yeah, like Christian said, we'll be having calls about that as we get closer to the release. I know I got a call yesterday saying, hey, when's this replacement going to be coming in? Obviously, we are not doing the Ketolene anymore because of leaky caps. And so purchase orders in. I'm saying we're about 6 to 8 weeks from this product, and so just getting that little taste. If you want to dive in and contact the social media sensation himself, Christian, and get a hold of him later, you can. He'll talk for days about this product. He loves to dive into it, and so excited that he was able to put such an amazing formula together for us. So with that, let's dive into NutraGuide again. So I want to take this from a very basic standpoint with regards to, actually, let me back up, because I know I'm already getting text. When is this launching? So we were going to launch it this week. I told everyone at the owners conference it was going to be this week, but with the launch of with the launch of the Lipotropic, I wanted to not take away from that. And so the NutraGuide will launch Monday, just about a week from now. So you will all be able to get your hands on this. Hopefully this call is able to get you and your team super excited about it. I don't want anyone on this call listening to this, leaving this call with regards to NutraGuide saying, sounds good, awesome test. Maybe I'll pick up a few and see how it goes. And you stick it in your store for a few weeks and go, we're not selling it. We really don't know how, we don't know why. Get on the phone and you're going to hear from me based on a store owner that's been selling this for the last few months, why it is so important to make sure that you and your team know how to use this tool, know how effective it can be as an additional offering to what we currently do in NutriShop. I mean, this just help set us apart even more with regards to what we offer in our stores. And so I don't want anyone to miss out on this opportunity in terms of adding this to, like I said, your store's arsenal that's going to make you more effective in your community. So with that, let me just talk briefly. So launch, like I said, will be next Monday. Obviously, I have two individuals here, Tyler Jeffers. Tyler Jeffers is one of the partners in BioLev, who's the company that we partnered with specifically to design this test for us. It is a NutriShop test. Somebody did ask me that at the conference. Nobody else has this. We spent the last 2 years working on this test with Tyler and his team. Christian, obviously, I have him on the call not only just to talk about the new fat burner, but Christian played a very integral part in helping us put this test together. And actually, you're going to hear there's a couple new products that I didn't talk about earlier that we are also launching here in the next 8 to 12 weeks because of this test, that we want to kind of have that the results of this test will reveal some of these products are definitely needed for the consumer. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to have Tyler go into a little bit of DNA and how it works, but let me just give you a basic understanding because you may be asking yourself, what is NutraGuide? All I know is it's some kind of test that hopefully we're supposed to be selling to our customers. NutraGuide, actually hold it up right here. This is the NutraGuide test. NutraGuide is a customized DNA test designed to reveal and identify 40 different areas of our individual and unique DNA profile. NutraGuide will uncover areas of vitamin deficiencies, how our body responds to certain carbohydrates and fats, our gut health, our metabolism, and a lot more. This is all in order to help each of us and our customers make the necessary lifestyle changes and add the correct supplements for them to maximize their ultimate health and fitness goals. So with that, like I said, I'm going to take this from a basic understanding of NutraGuide, walk you through it. When we release NutraGuide on Monday, one of the things we're going to do, and I'll get into that towards the end, if we release this, you are going to have so much to choose from with regards to the NutriShop portal. Information, we're going to have videos that you can use to promote this, videos in store that you can use, 2-minute videos, 30-second videos that we've done. We showed a few of them at the owners conference. We're going to have retractables, flyers, just a slew of marketing material because we want this launch to be very effective. And so that'll all be coming out with regards to an email that's sent out when this officially launches on Monday. Also in that, you're going to see some dates that we're going to set aside to dive in even more. Some of you go, look, and we heard it from the conference, some of you pulled Tyler aside and wanted to really understand a little bit more of how the DNA works and what is revealed through it. And so we want to give you that opportunity if you want to dive in a little bit more. And what was it? Somebody even wanted to see the genetic code, Tyler, printout. I think one of the owners asked about that. And so we can dive into that too. And I really want, what I want to prove or to show during this time is the legitimacy of this test and of the science behind it. so that you guys can feel confident when you sell it. And so with that, Tyler, share a little bit about BioLev, kind of what you guys do, DNA testing, how long you've been involved in genetic testing, and kind of how this test works.
Of course. Well, I'm excited to be on this call today and extremely excited about this partnership. I've been in genetic testing, been involved with this for the last 10 years, pretty extensively. BioLev specifically, we do an array of different testing, a lot of deep clinical work, skincare, agriculture, and a lot of different types of industries. And originally, when Brian and I started connecting about this test, we were looking for something to develop a tool to help the store owners not only sell more supplements, but add value to their customers. So we spent the last couple of years developing this test specifically for NutriShop. We had a very successful soft launch here close to Nashville, and I've tried the majority of the products, everything that's on this test that this test recommends. I've tried to make sure that I was completely in touch with the entire process. And like I said, really, this is designed to be a tool to not change your process, but to add value and to expose some areas that maybe your customers aren't utilizing, or some of those wellness and nutrients that customers aren't really purchasing.
How does specific DNA testing work? What are you testing for?
So yeah, specifically, what we're looking for is we're looking for variations or mutations in the enzymes that metabolize nutrients. So simplistically saying that we're looking for your body's ability to metabolize and use nutrients. So if someone has a specific deficiency, it's saying, hey, based on your genetics, your DNA, your blueprint, and your roadmap that your body has, have a higher likelihood of having a deficiency in your body not being able to use nutrients. So Brian and I may both eat, 100 milligrams of B12. Based on his genetics, he may use 100 milligrams of that, but I may only use 30 milligrams of that based on my genetic makeup. So then I know, hey, I need 3 times as much vitamin B12 in order to get my daily amounts. And I need to be using these activated versions of these vitamins, such as the methyl B12s that are in the B complex that you guys have come out with.
Tyler, when someone takes this DNA test and it does reveal certain areas of potential deficiencies, is that something that's corrected? Can they come back in 6 months and take another test and it's going to be fixed?
No. So once you take this genetic test, your genetics stay the same basically from the day you're born to the day you die. Your genetic makeup is the same. So this is basically like the blueprint of a house. This is the coding that's going to tell you, hey, this is the way your body is going to use and metabolize these nutrients. But no, these stay consistent. This is a one-time test, but they can use this information for the rest of their lives.
It's important to know, and I brought up that question specifically because it was asked at the conference. It was a question that I had asked originally a few years back when we were doing this. Hey, can I take this, start adding this B12 complex, and it's going to reveal something different? And so what Tyler said was true. It does not, your DNA does not change. It just shows obviously the need for you to consume a product like a vitamin D or a vitamin B. And what's great about this, not only is it going to help the customer achieve their goals or feel better, but for you as a store owner, it's a product that a customer is going to be on forever once it's revealed. These are a lot of repeat products that customers are going to come back and get. And so I want to dive into the store owner that we did a beta test with back in December. And so we did a test, like Tyler said. Tyler and his team are out of Nashville. And so we chose a store to do a beta to help us work through some of the different questions that came up with regards to him and his team selling it. And so that was Jay in Mount Juliet. And so unfortunately, Jay's father recently was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer. And so Jay is, as he should, he's spending every moment with his father right now. And so, thinking about him and praying for him and his family right now. Otherwise, I know he'd be on here with us. But in the future, as this test starts to develop more and more questions come up, Jay said, look, I want to be an integral part to this. I want to get on calls. I want to help some of these store owners because I've worked with it for the last 4 months. I actually had someone at the conference, Justina, who also owns a store in Bellevue, Tennessee, and she said that she, during her training, sat in with Jay a few times when they were selling this test, him and his team, and said it was just awesome to watch kind of some of the sales come about and the customer interaction that developed through Jay and his team selling some of these tests to individuals. So I did, however, jot down some of the information that I received from Jay at the owners conference. I played a video of Jay. It was a little lengthy for this call. And so I wanted to kind of just go over some of the bullet points and answers to the questions I had asked Jay that some of you may be having right now with regards to this test. So Jay sold about 60 tests in the time that he launched it. So over about 4 months, and he did this. We didn't have any marketing created for him. This was mostly him just doing it through an in-store experience with his customers. And again, he was very helpful. We did change some things about the test over the process from him being involved with us. And so it was great to have him and his team. But some of the things I had asked Jay. So I asked Jay, out of the 60 people that purchased the test, how many came back into the store to get their results? Jay said every single one came in. He said, when the customer's spending money on the test, they're coming back, they want their results. Fantastic, right? Great. But we're not necessarily in the business of selling DNA tests. We're in the business of selling product. So I asked Jay, I said, of the customers that came back to get the results, how many purchased product? Jay said 95% of the customers that came back purchased product. So great numbers there from him. Next question that some of you may be asking that I was curious to say, Jay, when these customers are coming back, they're getting their test results, what is the average ticket that these customers are spending when they're seeing their results? He said the average ticket that was coming in was $250 to $400 was the average ticket from these customers. The average number of products that were being recommended was 6 to 10 from these customers. So great feedback from Jay with regards to that. We'll get into a little bit of that because you look at that and go, wow, 250 to 400, that must have taken a little bit of time to build that sale. It did. Jay said it does take a little bit of time. This is not a 5-minute transaction that you're going to have with the customer. But we'll get into that a little bit in a few questions. Another question I said, Jay, does this test take people off of products they're currently on? He said, not really. You know, there were a few instances. One of the questions on there was a lactose, you know, or is someone lactose intolerant, or do they have that variant in them? And so he said, Brian, there were a couple instances where customers didn't know they were lactose intolerant. And so they were taking maybe the Forza Pro or another protein that had maybe a higher lactose content to it. I switched them to a Hydro Pro or a Trailhead. And he said, it made a difference. So no, it doesn't take them off product, but in this one specific area, it did switch it up. And he said, honestly, for some of the customers, it was a great thing because they experienced less bloating, because they didn't recognize they had the issue of the lactose intolerance. So he said, no, and it basically adds products to people's current programs, because one of the things you'll see in this isn't adding some of our more edgy products or the basic pre-workout type products. This is a lot of wellness products that get added to someone's routine. And so we all know if things aren't working right on the inside, doesn't matter what you're taking to improve your outside. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point that Brian's getting to. And I always kind of say this as well. I mean, I love, same thing from formulating. I love a new pre-workout. I love a new thing like that. But we're, you know, even in a couple months, they want a different flavor or try a different one or something. And you're kind of always chasing that. And it's really easy for them to find that somewhere else before they come back. But when you get to wellness products, and I think we've been doing this now, moving into wellness the last couple of years, we've experienced when they get on Rejuvex, they don't switch. When they get on their, collagen, when they get on one of, daily detox, these wellness products are different, and it creates a much more stable customer because they will take it ongoing. They don't wonder if the flavor is going to be different on their vitamin. They don't wonder. So it's a much more stable customer, which is what obviously we all want to have. Is if that's $250 to $400 at a ticket, and every month they're replacing those, they're not going to switch out. You're not wondering if you're going to not see them. They're going to come back. And so again, I just think that's one of the big things that I love about how this is connecting to the wellness is it's much more of a must-have kind of product for most people, and it's going to create that customer attention, that relationship, and that stability. So
Yeah.
I just think that's a big deal.
Awesome. Marketing. I did ask him how did you market this test, and this kind of gets into a little bit of one of the things he struggled with initially is where do I recommend this test? How do I sell this test to my current customers? And so he marketed a little bit through some text, but like I said, most of it was his in-store conversations he had, and we're gonna send out some of that information when we release this, kind of some scripts that Jay put together for his team to go over. But he said he found a lot of success marketing this or having the conversation about this test when you're going over someone's InBody or Evolt results. And that's when someone's really looking at kind of some of their information and wanting to know more and dive in a little bit. And Jay said, hey, this is great information. You know, we've done some of your Evolt or InBody reports before and gone over it a few times. Why don't we take the next step and do this one-time test to kind of reveal some things about your DNA and help take some of this guesswork out of the supplementation? And so he said that seemed to be the area where he had a lot of success with regards to that. And so I'll dive into a little bit more on that when I go through the process of kind of how this test works. But interesting that was the place that he found the most success. And so hopefully everyone on here and your staff is having those conversations when you're reading InBody and Evolt sheets with customers and spending that time, because this would be a great place to implement the DNA test, NutriGuide. What is saying? Oh, I asked him who are you selling this test to mostly? He said predominantly women. A lot of women want to know this information. I said, what age? He said 25 to 55. Every woman he was talking to about this wanted to jump on board. And he said what was interesting, and this is where I know Justina, the store owner from Bellevue, sat in and watched a sale happen. A woman came in, bought the test, and she wanted to buy it for her husband. He said he had a lot of those. And so he sold 2 tests and came back, the couple, and Justina said he watched this couple drop $700 in front of her with Jay when he was going over their test. And so cool to see that, but it was interesting to hear that this is a test that is sold more so to women. I think it can do a lot for men as well, but we all know you're probably not going to be selling it to that 19 or 20-year-old kid that just wants the pre-workout, but use the time to build the customer interaction, obviously, with anybody that's more in the range of probably being able to benefit from this test. I asked Jay, when you sold a test, we'll get into this in a second, but when you sold a test, how'd you get them back in? What'd you do? And so he used Calendly. I don't know if all of you use that. I know a lot of you do when it comes to meal plans, but I'll go into that in the last step. But he said that was the most effective thing to schedule the appointments. And he said when customers would come in, he would spend 30 to 45 minutes with them. And he said, I noticed the attention I gave them and went over some of these appointments with them yielded it in the higher sale because it helped me get to spend some time to help them understand the test. And so it may seem like a long time, but again, for the kind of return that you're getting off of this, a $250 to $400 sale, I think it's worth it. And the last thing I wanted to share with regards to, actually 2 more things I want to share with regards to Jay. So Jay, awesome, $250 to $400 sale is fantastic to get from a customer, but how many of these customers are coming back? That's the ultimate objective here, is not to sell this unique set of products to each individual once, but I wanted to come back in the store every month. And so, like I said, he's been doing this for about 4 months. Jay said 75% of the customers are continuing to come back and buy these products from them. So I think that's a pretty good statistic there. Again, out of 60 tests, 75% continue to come back and shop. And he goes, at that point, it's just automatic. They were just coming in and saying, hey, I'm here to restock on everything. So that's the great thing about it. Again, one-time test, and that was Jay's pitch. Hey, we want to get you on this one-time test to help reveal some of this unique DNA that you have. And then the last thing I did ask him, Christian kind of touched on it. I said, what products are you selling more of since you've been using and selling the DNA test? Rejuvex, all of the elemental health science products, B complex, vitamin D, gut health, super multi plus. 3 other products that we're going to be relaunching, or excuse me, we're going to be launching because of results of some of the things that are revealed in this test. We are doing a probiotic product, a digestive enzyme, an electrolyte product. The electrolyte product is going to be right around the same time as the BCAA. Christian, just dive briefly into that electrolyte product because I know you spent a lot of time working on that. We're starting to see a lot more electrolyte products now out in the market. Companies are doing them. But there's really only a few that are doing them effectively, and we're going to be one of those because of the amount of electrolytes that are being used. And so really please share, Christian, about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into just about 15 minutes of how we walk through this test from A to Z.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, electrolytes, we are starting to see it. I mean, I saw them at Costco this weekend. You can see them, a lot of the main grocers are getting on board with that, put it on the shelves. That tells me that the market trend is up, right? They're getting on board. They just look to stock the shelves, whatever the trend is. But it's not just a trend. We're really getting a lot of support from different doctors, from different groups and stuff that sodium is really a big deal. And there's just so many health benefits to it. And so that's where, when we talk about electrolytes, we're typically talking about sodium, potassium, a couple of those main electrolytes. And so really, we're going to obviously come to the market and bring something to the market that is elevated. That's what we typically do. So looking at, Brian and I tried different ones at different places. We've tried and looked and evaluated the products. And so we're going to come out, we're going to have 1,000 milligrams of sodium. We're going to have high potassium. Our electrolytes look fantastic. Our natural flavoring systems. But then also too, one of the additions that I'm really excited about is it's going to have a high amount of choline. And so one of the connective things to this is choline is such a brain food. We're well above the basic studies for cognitive, for brain function, for memory, everything like that. When you take a product like this, you will physically feel good from the electrical charges. Keep in mind, our bodies are electrical conduits. These minerals and electrolytes are part of that. You can feel more charged. You can feel more awake, better muscle contractions, less fatigue. There's a host of things that are literally proven. And so obviously it makes sense for us and we're going to do a better job with it. So I'm really excited about it. And as Brian mentioned, but we've done something different with it as well. This extra nootropic in this formula is going to be a big deal. And when you take it, you're going to feel the difference. So we beat them across the board and elevated with some things that no one else is doing. And I will say too, because we got a lot of salt in here. Everyone is putting salt in theirs, and hands down, ours taste the best. We went through some different flavor samples, and that's a big deal. I've even bought some of the other brands for my daughter. She won't drink them. Taste makes a difference still at the end of the day because you're going after general consumers. So we've also elevated the taste as well, and I think that we'll get a really great response with this. And I was going to take 60 more seconds. Brian, real quick, ran over to the fact that Connecting This DNA, we are coming out with a digestive enzyme complex. I am super excited about this. It makes it super easy to take something with each of your food meals to help digest, assimilate, and really, thanks to Tyler and takes this whole thing, that opened the door for us for me to get these onto the table, as well as a separate probiotic, because again, you have different timings. You want an enzyme versus a probiotic, or in your day and your schedule. 50 billion CFU, we're going to make one that competes and beats with everybody with 13 different strains. And we'll obviously get closer and do some Zooms where I'll really dive in. There's some amazing stuff, and you're starting to see it everywhere with gut health, probiotics, and brain function as well, just from those probiotics. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. And the last one, we keep talking about vitamin D. We've had owners ask about it. So we are also coming out our vitamin D here shortly down the road. Will also be a soft gel of vitamin D and K2. That's come up a lot, and we're responding with that as well. That's already in the works. I've already got it dialed in. We're having a custom one done for us to meet the top specs. So I wanted to throw that in on the table as well. And really, all of that is because of this DNA. It's opening up the door for these products. Everyone tells me they love that we're doing wellness products. And, keep the ideas coming, because this is going to open up the door and allow us to work one-on-one and tie it in with this program.
Awesome. Hey, one thing before I go through kind of this walkthrough, I really wanted to, it came up someone asked me and said, I heard you said you've been spending a couple of years working on this. What's taking so long? What have you been doing? And so I just wanted to share briefly about this. Putting this together did take a while. There was a lot involved with regards to attorneys. When you're talking about somebody's DNA, got to be very careful. There's a lot of laws we had to make sure that we followed with regards to HIPAA and making sure we did this correctly. A lot of people with regards to DNA, they go, oh, well, yeah, I want to see, am I predisposed to certain types of diseases or cancers? We can't get into that type of thing. Obviously, this is more for general health and wellness. And so we had to work through a lot of different steps and get some attorneys involved. Again, a lot of you know too, this DNA testing, Tyler and his team aren't doing it in their back room over there. It is getting tested at LabCorp. And so everyone knows who they are. They're a very respectable and reputable company that test DNA worldwide. And so your customers can rest assured that this is very legit when it comes to that, because I know a few people, at the conference asked about the protection and certain laws that we had to follow. And so that's why this did take a while. And we wanted to make sure, obviously, when we launched this, that it was going to be very successful with the launch. So with that, let me give you a basic rundown on how this works. This is also going to be done in a video. We're finishing kind of this tutorial that we're going to send out on Monday too. So if anyone missed the call and you're like, look, I want my team members, sell this, figure it out. What do you need to do? I want them to be able to kind of watch this video that we're going to present, but I'm going to give you these basic steps. It's really only 12 steps. So what's going to happen? Come Monday, cool, I'm in, I'm ready to go. I want to start selling the DNA test. You are going to go and order the test directly from BioLab's website. Again, this information will be in the email that goes out next week. You go into the BioLab website, you go, hey, I want to order these kits. The boxes are going to come directly from BioLab. I think we have, you can buy 12, you can buy 36. They're about $15 a piece. They come with the self-addressed envelope in here. It's got everything that the customer is going to need with regards to how to use the test. But first thing, order the kits. They'll come to you in a few days. Great. Kits show up at my store. What's next? Take the kits, put them up at your front counter. Okay, put them up at your front counter, put them on the side of the wall, build a pyramid, do whatever you need to do. Hopefully you've ordered some retractable banners. You've got some of these videos that we've provided playing in your store, and you're ready to rock and roll on this. Okay, customer comes in, says, fantastic, this thing looks amazing. I want to buy one of these. What do I do? So you ring the customer up on the test on your point of sale system, and enter the customer into the system, into a system. What you're going to do at that point, you're going to create an owner's profile on the BioLab website, which is going to track who purchases the NutriGuide. It's very simple to do. Again, we'll do a step-by-step, creating this owner's profile on it. All it's going to basically do is have information for you, and it's going to list your customers that have purchased this test, and it's going to show them where they at in the process. Basically, when you send the test in, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get the results. And on the owner's profile, it's going to say waiting for results. That's basically what you're going to see with regards to that. You're going to tell the customer, and we'll walk through how to do the specific test. If the customer purchases the test right in front of you, you can help them do the test. They're going to open this, swab the inside of their mouth, put it back in, seal it up, hand it to you. You're mailing it off. You're sending it off. Tell the customer, say, fantastic, I'm sending this off today or tomorrow. You'll get the results in about 2 to 3 weeks. However, they will not get the results. They will get the result that their test results are in. So that's what they're going to get on their side. It basically says, your test results are ready. I'll explain that in a second. 2 to 3 weeks, email comes to them. Email is going to come to you at the same time. Okay. So give you an example. Christian comes in to my store, buys the test. I wrap it up. Here's why I said, you take the test and you mail it off. Jay, I asked Jay that question. I said, are you mailing it off or are you having the customers mail it off? He said, I had one customer mail it off. They sat on the test for 3 weeks and basically forgot about it. It took forever. He goes, I enjoyed having them do the test right in front of me, seal it up, and I mail it off that day or the next day. Okay. Fantastic. Christian, thanks for taking the test. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to get an email saying that your results are in. I will also get the email at the same time saying your results are in. When I come in and check and it says Christian's results are in, I'm going to email Christian, tell him to go on to the Calendly app and schedule an appointment to come in and go over his results. Okay. Jay said that customers would either schedule the appointment or they would pick up the phone and call. Christian comes in, he set an appointment and comes into the store with me. I said, fantastic, Christian, glad you're here. Let's go through some of your results together. What I will do at that point is, Jay said the ideal thing is to have a couple iPads in your store. Christian and I are going to sit down at the counter or at the table, and I'm going to say, Christian, let's go through your results together. Christian still does not have his results. Christian does not get his results until I release them to him as the store owner. Christian sits down in front of me. I go into the owner's portal. I release the results to him. I ask Christian, go ahead and go onto the BioLev website, log in, and let's go through your results together. I want to make sure you heard that correctly. Christian comes in, I release the results to him. Now it's live on Christian's portal for his personal profile, and we can go through results together. The results technically never come to me. It's a HIPAA issue, right? But the results are going to be revealed by me as we go through them together on the iPad. But Christian's going to log into his own profile on the iPad, and we'll go through the results together. Jay said this worked every time with every customer, and he was able to go through the results on the iPad with them. So customer arrives, we go through results, we review each section. What's nice about each section, like we talked about, there's 40 different areas here. The areas that come up that are a little bit concerning are going to be highlighted for the customer. So we can go through those specifically. We don't have to sit and go through all 40 of them and explain them. The ones that are going to be highlighted are going to be the ones that we want to address in person. So we go through them, we test them, and we're good to go. So with that, let me just show you briefly kind of one of the things that the way this test looks from the customer's profile. Once I release the test to Christian and we go through this together in store, Christian now has access to this. He can go home and review it if he wants to, again, show his friends, do whatever, but Christian does not get to see the results to his test until he comes back into the store and I release them to him. So we did have a question about that. Is a customer going to be able to see their own results before they come back in their store? No, we designed this test very specific. We want the customers to come back in because no one's going to be able to go through these test results with them better than we have. One of the things, again, you may have seen out there, there's a lot of different types of DNA testing that's out there. What sets ours apart? I think the information and the simplicity of this test. There are a lot of complicated tests out there. We really honed in on this one to help make it more simplistic for not only you, but your staff that's going to be reviewing it for the customer, and very easy for the customer to review. So with that, Tyler, let's just spend a few more minutes really quick and show kind of a screenshot of what the customer is going to see when they kind of design their customer profile. Awesome. This is a customer profile here. So the report is ready. Me as the owner, I've already released them to them. This is basically Tommy Shelby sitting down with me right now, and we're going to kind of go through his test together. What they will see beforehand, before their test results, it's going to have that little icon there that says the report is still processing. So again, that will not say it's ready until I release it. Actually, that little icon says your report is ready. Go visit NutriShop or schedule your appointment at NutriShop to go through your results. But let's go through, Tyler, just the one that I had pointed out so you can kind of see what this looks like with regards to how it's revealed to the customer. This is the vitamins and minerals section. Let's go down to, where are we going down to? B12. You have a variant associated with a B12 deficiency. Consider supplementing with a daily multivitamin and an additional B complex. Here are some support product recommendations. B complex, again, we've got the B complex by Elemental Health Sciences, as well as a NuTech Nutrition Super Multi Plus. So originally with regards to this, we weren't going to do specific products that were NutriShop products. And Jay said it was probably the best thing that he thought should be changed. So we changed it. He said it made it so much more simplistic because a lot of these people come in, they go, just tell me what I need to take. And if it's a NutriShop product, give me the NutriShop product. And so some of these unique ones that we put in were based on the amounts that we were using. Like the NuTech Super Multi Plus has a high amount of B12 in there. And so that's why it's on here. There are other products that we have that have B12 in them, but they do not have a sufficient amount to where it would be something that we would recommend through this. But this is kind of what the customer is going to see, that you're going to go through with them. Like I said, this is just in this section. So there's a variety of things here, obviously, that you can see with regards to these different vitamin deficiencies. Here was my question in the beginning, right? So B12 deficiency issue with this tells me I should kind of be taking some B12. Sounds great. Why? Who cares, right? Doesn't sound super exciting to me. What's the issue there? One of the things you will also get on Monday with regards to each section in here is I have it here. I call it kind of a, I don't want to use the word cheat sheet, but it's a little bit of a reveal sheet. Shoot, mine's all messy. But it's basically, it's going to look like this. It's regards to each section, and it basically helps explain so that you and your staff are educated with regards to this. What does it mean if I have this variant with a B12 deficiency? What potentially are the outcomes? What are the negatives with regards to that? And so just to give you an example with regards to, this is the one on the methylfolate I'm looking at here. Symptoms that can be linked to methylfolate or a folate deficiency: irritability, lethargic, headaches, fatigue, mood changes. Awesome. What are possible benefit supplementation of this? Increased concentration, decreased brain fog, energy levels. So you're going to be able to really help a customer understand each of these basic kind of revealed sections in here with regards to benefits of supplementing in an area where they need to, and kind of the downfall of potential issues if they don't address this issue. And so this is one of the biggest things I think that helped ensure customers were purchasing these products once they revealed, oh shoot, I do have some of these issues here. I should be on this. I think this is one of the things that led Tyler kind of into the field of genetic testing, was because he was experiencing some of these issues, and revealing some of this changed his life, right, Tyler?
Yeah, correct. And that's why, I'm very passionate about this part of the industry. And I had a lot of things that I'd struggled with, where it comes to energy levels, motivation, mood stability, just cognition as a whole, a lot of brain fog. And once I actually had dove further into this, took a genetic test, I saw those things change in my life dramatically, and it made a huge difference in my own life. So I just became obsessed with it. We have a geneticist on, full time that's helped develop this test in a combination of LabCorp, which very reputable, which has been great. And, I'm extremely excited to partner with a company such as NutriShop, because, you guys have a superior product line, you truly do. And one thing about this test is it's going to show a lot of that. I was extremely surprised. One thing that was eye-opening when sitting through these consultations was how little that customers really know about, some customers, about nutrition and about what they need and the depth of that. And, I'll give Christian the nickname myself of basically the supplement doctor in my eyes. So it's having somebody like him that's been able to work with me on this. It really shows the superior products of the ingredients and the thought, the research, and that's been put into this. And I was very excited because, with other companies that may be in competition with NutriShop would not be able to use a test like this. We've seen it happen in the past. It did not go well because they don't have a superior product line with the types of ingredients that you guys are using and these types of formulas that Christian has been able to put in here. So I'm extremely excited about this, and, developing this test specifically for NutriShop, and for you guys to use as a tool has been huge. And like I said, working with these superior ingredients allows for the full effectiveness of this test. So extremely excited about that.
Awesome. Tyler, you can take it off the screen before people start really hitting me with questions. This is, like I said, this call was to wet your whistle and get you excited about this, because I think this is a game changer for all of us. It's going to be really awesome to offer this. And we want to continue to walk down the path with all of you in terms of understanding this better, how to use it better, how to implement it better. And so getting some of your feedback. The one thing is awesome is partnering with Tyler and his team. I have access to them daily. We're going to do some calls where you're going to get support from him, from his geneticist, if you want to dive in a little bit more. But anything that we want to kind of tweak and change, can happen instantly. And so we're excited as we've kind of, like I said, are designing this test and have this test designed specifically for us. And as I mentioned, we're going to do a lot of different calls along the way as we get this thing launched, and super excited for it. This test, I did get, someone was asking, hey, kind of what are we going to retail this thing for? It's going to be about $150 for this one-time test. I'll get into a little bit more of kind of with regards to when we send this out. I know there's a lot of employees on here, what the tests cost the stores with that. But for this type of DNA testing, it is a very fair price. A lot of feedback from the owners conference saying, hey, that's right in that sweet spot, I think, to get a customer to spend $150 on a one-time test that's going to reveal so much information to help change their life. And truly, like Tyler said, it's exciting to hear when you hear for this feedback from customers. And we do have some testimonials we're going to put together that will be obviously be released on Monday from some of Jay's customers, just the way they feel better and how much they feel I don't want to say healthier, but they just have a better feeling of well-being about them because they're dealing with some of these issues they didn't know that they had, to help them have more energy levels or less fatigue or more awareness to things, and to help get them on the right track, because we all know the more success we have with each of our customers in looking better or feeling better, that is one of the best ways to generate repeat business and get that word of mouth going. So with that, I want to thank Tyler and Christian both for being on the call. You guys will definitely have a lot more access to them after next week, after our launch. And like I said, we'll put some dates together to dive in a little bit more, but I wanted to just kind of give that brief understanding of how this is going to work, how this is going to roll out, and how easy it is to implement this in your stores and have the conversation with customers, and what a game changer this can be. One of the things I think Jay said was really cool is he goes, this is going to bring a complete new demographic into my store. You know, I have the current customers that are coming in buying product currently, but I have a lot of people that, you know, don't even know that they need to be on product, that I think would just love to see kind of some of the definite reveals that come out from this DNA testing. And not everything that's in here is aligned with a product. Some of it is just basic information that's going to help customers understand more about themselves and their bodies. And so excited for this. Anyone has any questions, give me a shout. Again, Monday next week, look ready for the launch, and we'll be ready to go. So thank you all and have a fantastic rest of the week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.